Today is looking like a pretty good day. Bitcoin is up, altcoins are up, Defi is up, everything is going up. But there's a few pieces of news I want to share with you guys, and also this very heated debate between Ultra Bull Brian Kelly and Ultra Bear Peter Schiff. Let's get started. So started with Bitcoin, 10,417. Not too bad. It's in the green. Bitcoin is slowly coming back up. Nowhere near 11,000 yet. Something is holding back Bitcoin. There's a little bit of uncertainty, but if you look at some of these indicators like RSI, stochastic RSI, they're still very low. So Bitcoin definitely can run up. But today is really about the altcoins. BTC dominance dropped significantly, 55.8%. And that's because altcoins are just rallying hard today. Ethereum is up 4%. Chainlink up just slightly 2%. Litecoin up 4%. But look at the newcomers in the space. Polkadot, one that I've been talking about this week, up 17%. That is a big climb. And they're sitting at number 5. And also old goodie Binance Coin. Haven't really talked about them much, but look at them, up 14%. Very significant. If you go down the list, DeFi is also doing well. Look at Yearn Finance is coming back up. Neo, which has been stagnant for a while, making some moves recently. And you look at Cosmos, UMA, Aave. I mean, across the board, things are looking pretty good. But one did catch my eye, Theta. Some of you guys have asked about Theta. I covered them before, but I decided to look at their webpage, and I saw this. And I missed this totally. I don't know how many of you guys saw this, but they were granted a US patent for decentralized data streaming. Basically, they now control this. So the way they do decentralized streaming, or the network that supports it, they have a patent for that now. You don't really hear that, right, with crypto projects. So I don't know what this means, because there's a lot of other players in the space that is also doing decentralized data streaming. And I don't know if this means that Theta now can corner the market. Are they going to go after other projects? I don't think so, but I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. I think this is pretty significant. And if you actually click in here, you'll see the exact patent. It's 36 pages, very technical. But if you guys want to look at it, you can. Yeah, very interesting. And this was only given a few days ago, September 8th. So just want to bring that up. This is probably the reason why Theta has been moving up the last few days, right? And who knows? Who knows what they're going to do with this? But this is quite interesting. All right, now moving on to DeFi Pulse. It's still on its way up. This is probably the reason why a lot of the altcoins and a lot of DeFi coins are doing well. Nearly back up to 8 billion once again. It dropped to a low of 6 billion. Now it's back up to 8 billion. Now, I saw on CMC, there's a new tab. Maybe this has been out for a while, but I didn't notice it until now. There's a new category of tab called yield farming. And this actually breaks down all the projects that offer yield farming and their ROI, and it just kind of tells you like how risky it is. Rather than risk, they put in permanent loss. High, none, medium, high. So obviously, the higher the returns, the more risky it is. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of yield farming. I think there's just too many scams, pump and dumps going on. But I will recognize that if this is true, the total locked-in value for yield farming, 3.6 billion, that's a lot. That's a lot. I think that's on top of this 8 billion. So you're looking at close to 12 billion of crypto locked in. And what's good about that is it kind of curbs volatility, right? So when we do have drastic down days, altcoins and DeFi are not just selling off like crazy, right? And a lot of them recover very quickly, like today. So I think that's one good thing about yield farming. But there's many bad things about it. I don't trust it at all. I don't recommend anyone to get into it. But CMC is definitely getting into the game. At least they're telling you which ones that you can participate in. All right, next I want to show you this heated debate. Now, this is a good one from years past. A lot of you guys know of Brian Kelly. He was a guest on CNBC many times. Before, he was an ultra Bitcoin bull. He also runs a company, investment company based on Bitcoin. before he was so enthusiastic about Bitcoin. And recently, he kind of shied away, like became neutral. And sometimes when he comes on CNBC, he doesn't really talk about Bitcoin. He just talks about general stock stuff. But I found a really good one between him and Peter Schiff. You guys know Peter Schiff, the biggest bear out there. But I do think Peter's about to change his tune. He's been tweeting recently a lot about Bitcoin and about his son buying Bitcoin. So I think it's just a matter of time. He says, oh, I decided I'm going to get back into Bitcoin, or I'm going to get into Bitcoin because of my son. I think it's leading up to that. I really do. But this is a fierce debate between Brian Kelly and Peter Schiff. And I loved the enthusiasm of Brian Kelly. So I just want to show you guys real quick.
What is a better bet going forward, gold or Bitcoin? BK, you first.
Yeah, well, for me, obviously, it's Bitcoin, and I'll tell you why. Because Bitcoin is not just digital gold. I think that's what a lot of people get wrong here. It's a technology platform that fintech is being built on top of. It is a once-in-a-generation investment opportunity similar to the internet, growing just as fast, if not faster. It's the internet of money, and I'm not the only one on this. Everybody's involved in it. Federal Reserve just released a paper on it and has a working group. Bank of England is involved in it. 14 of the top 30 banks have active projects going on. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, CME, NYSE, New York Stock Exchange are all involved in projects as we speak, building on top of this technology. So let's just say, let's try to put a value on Bitcoin. And let's say all those things don't happen, right? Even though there's so much people working on it, they're building on top of the platform, giving it useful. Let's say it is digital gold. And for some reason, it just happens to get 1% of the market share that gold gets. Bitcoin would be $4,500 trading at $1,200 right now. If it got 5% of the market share, it would be at $22,000. That, to me, is a winning investment.
Peter Schiff, you're up.
Well, it's not digital gold. I agree. It's digital fool's gold. Today's Bitcoins could be tomorrow's Beanie Babies. The whole principle behind Bitcoin was to replicate the properties that made gold uniquely suited to be money and act as an alternative to fiat currencies. But it's not really viable as money. I mean, it is a potential medium of exchange, but it's not a store of value. Meanwhile, nobody really uses it as a medium of exchange. It's just a speculative asset. People own it because they think it's going to be more valuable in the future, but it has no intrinsic value in and of itself.
150,000 merchants worldwide accept Bitcoin, including Expedia. 300,000 transactions a day.
No merchants accept Bitcoin. They work with a company called BitPay. They accept dollars. What happens is there are no merchants that price their merchandise in Bitcoin. It's impossible. So it's a gimmick to try to pretend.
It in Bitcoin. It's their choice if they want to convert it back to fiat dollars. It's being used in trade finance between Brazil and China.
I didn't interrupt you.
People are actually using it, Peter. You're missing the whole story here. You're missing it.
People are using it to circumvent currency laws to transfer money out of China. They are not really using it in commerce. No merchants are You find me a merchant that is pricing their merchandise in a Bitcoin. This is one Bitcoin. This is a half a Bitcoin. They are pricing it in dollars or euros.
People using it in the supply chain. It's very useful.
No. The price, the volatility is too great on a daily basis to really price it.
Not really.
But
this
meanwhile,
year, for a good portion of this year, was less volatile than gold and outperformed.
It is not less volatile. But look, meanwhile,
was this year.
Gold had a long history of intrinsic value before it was money. People desired it for its properties, and it was very scarce. So it had a lot of value because its unique properties were hard to come by. Nobody knew what Bitcoin was 5 or 10 years ago. It didn't exist. It has no value other than the fact that maybe you can use it to exchange for somebody else. But if they don't want it, it has no value.
It has the exact same value as gold has, exact same value as oil.
Doesn't.
Its usefulness, its utility. That's what everything is backed by.
No,
Gold's
it's
just
not.
a rock.
Gold,
it's just a shiny rock. It has some special qualities, but it's just a shiny rock.
Look, you're a member of a cult. That's why you have to keep screaming at me.
Peter, stop.
There's nothing that you can do with your Bitcoin. Does that mean it's not going to go up to 2,000 or 3,000? It could, and then it's going to go to zero.
With my Bitcoin. I can do trade finance with my Bitcoin. What are you talking about?
All right. Unfortunately, we are out of time.
There is no limit There is no limit to the number of digital currencies that can be created. There are hundreds of others. Just because Bitcoin is the most popular now, look, why doesn't everybody use MySpace? You know, because somebody came up with Facebook. I mean, you have no idea.
Right.
And meanwhile, there's a company out there called Gold Money, which actually uses gold
you could say the
as
same
money.
thing about the internet, and you would have missed out.
We got to end this here. We're gonna.
So overall, things are looking pretty good. Bitcoin's good, altcoins are certainly doing good, and DeFi is doing good. Now, during my live stream on Friday, I did mention I'm a little bit wary about what's going on with the tech sector, with NASDAQ and so forth. So we'll have to see what happens this coming week, because NASDAQ and the tech sector has been getting demolished for the past 2 weeks. Hopefully it doesn't continue, and hopefully it doesn't carry into cryptosphere, because looking at today, it's looking like no one cares. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts about the debate and about everything else that I've talked about. Take care. Bye-bye.